it was really a nightmare. I think at some point, all of us acne sufferers, we hit a point where we just say to ourselves, I've had enough. And it usually, like at every stage, there's a I had enough phrase where, in the beginning you might get a pimple or two, and it might not be big, too big of a deal, but suddenly you go, what, I need to do something, I've had enough. And so you go to the market and you try to get some face washes, you ask your friends what they're using, you actually start washing your face. But that doesn't work. So you take it up a notch and you start using some like really weird products that maybe your family members or your friends recommend. And you have I'd had enough for a moment because it's not working. So you try some tools, you try popping your pimples, and it's not going away. Puberty's not happening. So you finally you see all those infomercials on TV like Proactiv and Murad and Clearasil, and those commercials, and you start thinking, what? Maybe I need to get myself a pimple clearing cream or a wash. You go out to the market, you buy that. That doesn't work either, and then you start really panicking. I mean, if you've ever bought one of those products, you probably know what I mean. When you're sitting on your bed and you're opening it, or wherever you are, you're on your desk, you're opening it, you get in the mail, you're all super happy because you're imagining yourself what it would be like to be clear and to be finally normal. And I think I also ordered Proactiv at one point in my life, and I remember sitting in my bed and I remember imagining all the amazing things that I would do when I was clear, and how I'd go out and ask all these girls out, how I'd be so confident, how I could finally go to parties and not be self-conscious about my skin. And I'm sitting there and I'm opening this box up and I'm reading all the directions and I'm just looking at my, wow, 3-step system. This makes me so complicated. It's like, it's going to be a miracle. I'm going to finally clear my skin. So I try it. And it feels great, and I feel like my face is so clean after I wash my face and I use a 3-step system or whatever they use. And I remember, maybe a couple of days pass and nothing really changes. So maybe I did something wrong. I go back, I reread the directions, and you've probably done this too if you've ever tried one of these products and it didn't work. Back, you're rereading the directions, and you do it again. And then another week passes by, right? And it still doesn't work. As a matter of fact, maybe sometimes your acne has gotten even worse than it was before. And you're thinking to yourself, did I do something wrong? Did I miss a step? Maybe I got a faulty product. Maybe the manufacturers mixed up my product and I should just order again or wait for the next month because it's just a product, maybe, it sat in the sun for too long or something and spoiled. Maybe that's why it's happening. But eventually that doesn't work. You go to a dermatologist and take another step, take it up a step again, and you start getting all these shots, doing all these weird medications, antibiotics, and things start getting really weird and really, really complicated. And if you've ever taken antibiotics or been to a dermatologist, you probably know what I mean when you go there and they prescribe you some sort of medication. And you go with these treatments and you spend thousands, hundreds of dollars, some people thousands, in particular me, thousands of dollars. And you go there and they give you these medications and you take them. And at first it starts working. At first it starts working. And then eventually it gets worse and worse and worse. And you start having pimples in places that you didn't even have them before, even before you started. I mean, maybe at first it started off in your cheeks, and then now, a couple months later, after you thought you had cleared it up, your acne comes back even more severe than ever, and you start getting it on your jawline, on your forehead, and right underneath your lip. And you start panicking, like, what's going on? So you go back to the dermatologist, and he prescribes you more medication. And meanwhile, you probably don't know, but you're really damaging your system, and the problem isn't going to suddenly disappear out of nowhere, but you're gradually increasing these antibiotics, which I'm going to get to later, and you're really hurting your body and actually making it even harder for you to clear your acne for real further down the line. But that doesn't work, and by this point, I mean, it seems hopeless. And you go to school every morning and you look at yourself every morning, and I mean, by this point, your self-esteem must be hitting rock bottom.